I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.
There's no way a jury heard these text messages read out loud in the court. And it's crazy. None of these anti-Diddy pros sending him to prison for life, none of those people ever bring up when they read these text messages in court, and I wonder why. There's no way any man on that jury's going to be able to hear this and think that this man is guilty of anything. Let's play the video.
One Drip Media, and she posted this post on, when did she post this? Tell you the dates, you just go get 1 week ago. And it's the text messages with Puff finding out that Cassie was cheating on him with the trainer that she's now married to. Okay? I'm gonna read these for you guys real quick. There's a lot of them, so I'm gonna read them really quickly. And then we'll get out of here. Cassie says, I don't owe you ish. You owe me. Puff says, deal with that and we're done. Y'all ain't playing me. Now, the reason why they're having this conversation is because Puff is asking for a refund for the $70,000 he spent on the trainings, because he's saying, I didn't tell you, I didn't hire him so that you guys could start getting together, and he didn't know. And remember, he was also with her up in, like, while she was with the trainer as well. But when that guy was calling on FaceTime and he's like, you have another man calling at 3 o'clock in the morning on FaceTime when I'm making love to you, Puff didn't know because she saved the name in her phone as a different name. So Puff didn't know. I think it was like Batman call or Bat call or something like that. And then she kept telling him, I don't know who that is. And that's when Agnifilo was like, oh, Cassie. Oh, Cassie. So she's cheating on him. And this is how this conversation goes. You tell me if sounds like, put a 1 in the chat if this sounds like a woman that's afraid, or if this sounds if put a 2 in the chat if you think that this sounds like a woman that knows, that is not afraid. So 1 for afraid, 2 for not afraid. Let's just keep it simple. This is a woman that's afraid is a 1. This is a woman that's not afraid is a 2. Okay? Just to understand where you guys are at. She goes, and you aren't playing me. We're about to have a big problem because all you do is harass me for ish that's gone wrong. He goes, I'm asking you to deal with it because he wants his money, the refund from the trainer. If you don't deal with it, I will. She goes, no, we will have a problem no matter what. You've pushed me too far. He goes, you already ran a scam on me with Carrie. You pushed me too far. He goes, I'm telling you to deal with it. He goes, sorry, I have to keep zooming in because I can't put Instagram.
So listen to what he said. You already ran 1 scam on me. This is number 2. She knows this is it for her. She's done. She knows she can't finesse Puffy no more. She can't get money out of him to support her lifestyle anymore. He's done with her. Now that he's done, she has no children by him. They were never married, not even common law, because they didn't live together. She has no choice now but to plot on him and get back to him. And she literally says that in these messages. There's no way the jury heard. This is why they won't report this on these other media sites. This is why you got to come to someone like me. They won't tell you the truth about what's really being said in court, and they want to skew the image so it seems like he's only going to get off because he's rich and famous. He's not going to get off because of that. He's going to get off because the evidence does not support what they're saying. These people were scamming him. And to cover up their crime of extortion against Puffy, they accused him to wipe the slate clean. Something like this happened to a buddy of mine Some girls had robbed him and put he thinks they put something in his drink. They went back to his hotel room in Vegas. He falls asleep. He wakes up. His jewelry, phone, laptop, money, gone. He rushes through the hallway trying to catch them on the elevator. He doesn't know when they left, but he's running behind these girls. Can't find them. Goes back to his room. Security's there with local Las Vegas police. Apparently, somebody had made an anonymous phone call and said they were being held hostage in his room. It's called the underplay for the overplay. Now, because there's an allegation against him for one thing, he just wants it all to go away, so he's not going to pursue charges against them. It appears that that's what Cassie and Alex Fine did. They knew they couldn't go back to Puffy, and they had already hit rock bottom, hit some hard times. And now they had to come up with a plan to get access to that money because it's a lifestyle that they're already used to. If I was Puffy, I would have wanted every penny I gave that man back to. I don't know if any of you have ever been cheated on, but it doesn't feel good. Especially when you've been with somebody as long as he was dealing with Cassie, as much as he's done for her. To find out she's not cheating once, but again, I mean, I don't know how many men she cheated on him with. But you can tell in these messages that he's hurt. Just because he's a billionaire and because he's black doesn't mean he doesn't have feelings. He can't be a man. He can't feel pain. He can't feel betrayal. Why do you feel like that? Why do you think that? What makes it so that other people can feel pain? But when it comes to Puffy, it seems like that's something that's out of your comprehension. You can't understand that. Make it make sense.
Like sideways, and these chats are horizontal. Deal with it, and we don't have any problems. But no, it will be dealt with today. Let me and you and him get together. I hired him to train you, not to hang with you and become friends. Someone is giving me my money back, and y'all can have each other. Why did you have to do this with somebody I was paying for? Anything more than that is disrespectful. And he disrespected me. I don't know what he meant there, but it sounds like because these are all separate messages. Like it's like message after message after message. If you guys can see, it's like message after message. So he's just typing fast, and then
I don't know. I can remember being hurt. I can remember finding out my ex was sneaking around with some other dude. And it got so bad because he's calling the phone that I paid for, asking to speak to her, but he's calling her phone, but it's my phone because I paid for it. It's on my plan. I told her, you can't be taking calls from this guy while you're living with me. And eventually I got tired of arguing. I said, look, I'll get you your own apartment. I moved her out. And then one day I just woke up and I was like, what am I doing? Why am I paying rent for her when she's dealing with another dude? You know what I did? I went over there one day. Everything I ever bought her, I took it back. Jewelry, clothing, shoes, purses, anything I paid for, I took it back. He can come replace it all. He can replace it. That's your new man. He shouldn't want you walking around with stuff that your ex bought you anyway. Let your new man replace it. Let your new man fund your lifestyle. And look at Diddy, famous, dances around on TV, billionaire, and he's still dealing with the same low-life bullshit betrayal that regular guys like myself have to deal with in the public. No matter all that money and fame, you're still just a man, a human. All that money and fame, and she'll still go cheat on you with the personal trainer, with the valet guy, with the guy who stocks the sodas in the smoke shop. And then she'll go back to the billionaire. You think they give a damn about status and money? You're wrong. They care about attention. But see, at this point, now that she's caught, Alex is all she's going to have left. No one's going to deal with her no more. She had no choice. But Alex saw this as a golden opportunity, and he jumped on it. Alex is divorcing Cassie this year. He's going to be worth $15 million all of a sudden. And he's going to get child support and alimony from her based on her own testimony that she has a sex and a drug problem as well.
He just gives the broken heart emojis. Gives the broken heart emojis. Okay. And then she goes, blocked! Exclamation mark. That's triggering to some people on the chat. I know that for sure. She goes, blocked. He goes, do you think that was right? She goes, I just told you I didn't. And you're wrong too. She goes, I've been telling you. And now I'm done. This is how they broke up, by the way. He goes, I will handle it with him. Are you going to give me my money back? She goes, trust. He goes, what does, I think he meant, she was talking about a girl, another girl. And he goes, what does any of that have to do with you effing with the trainer? Exclamation mark, exclamation, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Is that your satisfaction? It's foul. You can't admit that. And I'm tired of you threatening me. I think you need to fix this. And you're the one with the threats. And I'm not releasing anything. You're threatening me. And I'm letting you know it goes both ways. All right. Let's continue. She goes, hit him. I have nothing to do with it. Done. He goes, how are you comparing her to a trainer I paid for? And that's why I think trust is a girl. Because he says, how are you comparing her with a trainer I paid for? And she goes, effing Carrie's friend ass N-word. This is what she said. This is her message. So she's calling him a effing Carrie's friend ass whatever.
Last time I checked, Cassie is not black. So she's calling him the N-word. And now she's basically, because she's caught cheating on Puffy, she wants to bring up that Puffy's messing with this other girl. Puffy is into polygamy. He's a polyamorous type of guy, not polygamy. He doesn't marry multiple women, but he loves a lot of people. He even changed his name to Love. He loves a lot of women. I'll be honest, I'm very similar to that. If I meet a woman based on how she looks, because I'm shallow, I think I'm in love every week. And if I meet 5 women that on the same day, I swear I'm in love with all 5 of them. It's something that we really can't hide, but it's something that's not criminal. And when women get territorial and jealous about you, we cannot start a pattern where we can allow your ex-girlfriends who have a bone to pick with you because they're jealous that you've moved on or you have a new girlfriend. We cannot let them come up with felonious, fake accusations against you and then the government, depending on how much of your assets that the government desires, they'll pick up the case and literally try to pull you apart and make all these obscure connections to create a RICO charge. We all saw Sound of Freedom. We know what trafficking children, we know what trafficking adults, we know what prostitution is. So you're saying not only is Diddy the John, but he's also the pimp. It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. Saying that he used the proceeds from these freak offs so that he can fund Bad Boy Records is nonsense. He didn't even have, in a lot of these cases, they would find out the person didn't pay enough of their taxes and they'd get him with a tax evasion charge. Diddy is so clean with his business, they couldn't even charge him with that. They want him so bad that they literally have to dig into the man's bedroom and turn unreported. None of these were crimes that were reported. And all these allegations are, think about it, that's 2011. Saying that he blew up a man's car because he was in love with Cassie, saying he kidnapped somebody when some jewelry came up missing, even though that person went home every night, but yet they were being kidnapped every day. It doesn't make sense. You wouldn't even go back to work knowing you're going to get kidnapped again, let alone 5 days in a row. None of this is logical. It only makes sense to you if you're an emotional person who has a bias against certain individuals. None of this logically makes sense standing up on its feet. Again, the man is hurt. He's betrayed. He hired this man and he paid him handsomely, $68,000 to be a personal trainer. Does Puffy not know that it's only $150 an hour to hire one of these assholes at 24 Hour Fitness? What, were you trying to train her to become an American gladiator? What the fuck are you paying $70,000 to a trainer for? Is she about to join? Is she about to be a planeteer? Is there a movie role? Is she going to be in a new Mortal Kombat? What are we doing here, Puff? Honestly, I understand why he wanted a refund. You know, if I had ordered, say I ordered food from a restaurant, my girl goes to pick it up. If I find out her and the guy are flirting and they're actually exchanging numbers with each other, I'm literally going to take the food back. I'm going to ask for a fucking refund. I didn't send my girl here to get a new boyfriend or to cheat. I sent her here to pick up the food. But she should also be able to control herself. The thing of the truth about Cassie is that she's a nympho. So there's no such thing as stopping her from ever seeking new men, new penis, and new experiences. That is a part of that lifestyle. It's not nothing to be ashamed of. It's something that you want to mitigate if you can. They have counseling for it. It's a real condition. She has it. There's another woman that's on the internet famously that has it, and she's just more honest than Cassie, but she's the exact same as Cassie, and her name is Bonnie Blue. Look her up. Bonnie Blue will just tell you the God honest truth. Cassie will lie to you and play the victim when it suits her. And I'll be honest with you, Cassie never really saw herself as a victim until Alex convinced her that she was. After they got together, they went from being super wealthy with access to tons of money. He's being paid a lot by Puffy. She's Puffy's girlfriend. Once Puff cuts them off, they hit rock bottom so hard that they had to move in with Cassie's family. Alex didn't have any money. And at that rock bottom is when Alex made his move to convince Cassie to turn against the man that took care of her and her family and her lifestyle for the previous almost 11 years. I had an ex-girlfriend turn on me. The same woman, I let her, not only just her mother live with me, her grandmother live with me. I'm sending money to her father, her family. And people treat me like I'm a drug dealer. People, I work. I'm literally allocating funds to help you people, but I don't owe you anything. And those people took me for granted too. And guess what? When I eventually cut her off, they act like it was a crime against humanity. Listen, when it comes to women, it's their body, their choice. When it comes to men, it's our wallet, our choice. If I choose to cut you off and I don't want to help you with money financially anymore, I don't want to give you anything, you cannot come after me and sue me. Tiger Woods' ex-girlfriend famously, after he changed the locks on her, after he sent her on a vacation, she literally took him to court and tried this because he didn't want to marry her. And she still tried to sue him for alimony. The court shut it down. But had she maybe accused Tiger of something, she would have got that same amount of money she would have wanted in basically an alimony or a severance package. She could have sued Tiger and accused him of some fake abuse, even with no evidence. And I'll be honest with you, the government might have picked it up. She would have got that type of money from a false allegation. But she wasn't as clever as some of these people. I'm just afraid of what the future is going to look like in America when men's ex-girlfriends are now going to all have the bright idea. It's happening around the country. It's happening right now to Tyler Perry. It's happening to a lot of African and black people, a lot of black men, whether you're straight or gay, doesn't matter. They're easy targets because the women that are also a part of the black community, they champion sending black men to prison. It's a pastime sport. It's kind of like the Salem witch trials where you're basically doomed either way because the audience wants to see you go down. And that's the danger with a democracy. When you have a mob rule mentality and you call yourself a Democrat, you're really, you're edging on majority rule. Well, what if the majority are wrong? It was majority rule back in Salem, New Hampshire, Salem, North Carolina, what's it? Salem, Rhode Island. It's one of those northeastern places. And they will say, look, we're going to put the woman in the water. If she can swim, she's a witch. But if she drowns and dies, she's not a witch. However, if she can't swim, we're going to take her from the water and we're going to burn her at the stake. As a woman, you're doomed either way if somebody puts those allegations on you because the mob enjoyed torturing women and burning them. We're seeing the same thing happen in the black community. It's really from what I can discern from watching hundreds of hours, thousands of hours of TikTok videos, YouTube, Instagram. It's like 85% black women that are saying, please send this man to prison for the rest of his life. We don't know why he should go to jail for the rest of his life, and there's no proof of that, but we don't care. We are going to support you putting him in prison for the rest of his life. We're not going to protest. We're not going to make it a big deal. We're not going to sue. We just want you to get rid of this man. But they want you to get rid of all men. But the easiest ones to get rid of are black men because it's the culture right now. We're soft targets.
So she's saying you effed Carrie's friend. And then she says, you guys can see in the chat yourselves, F you. And she says, F you. This is a woman that's being trafficked. That she couldn't do anything for herself, and she was always afraid of him. She goes, oh no, he goes, so you want to hurt me because you F the trainer? Release the videos also.
So you got Cassie has a pattern of behavior. She loves to threaten men. There's a video of her threatening to kill a man. But now here she is threatening to release videos of Diddy doing stuff. And then she's going to say, well, I got pictures of bruises. She's telling Diddy all of this in, I believe, 2021. She's basically threatening to release videos and pictures from 2011 and 2012. 9, 10 years later, 8 years later, well outside the statute of limitations. You know, to be honest, this was never a RICO case. However, to remove the statute of limitations that would have prevented prosecution, they had to put a RICO on there just to circumvent the law. What this is a blatant disrespect for the law, a perversion of the law. This isn't, I'm trying to enforce the law. I'm trying to seek justice. Justice for who? Who is demanding justice? Who has demanded anything for them, for their pain and suffering or for their injuries? You know, these were people that got used to a lifestyle. And if it's not your wife, when you break up with her, if you're no longer with her and you provide her a lifestyle, she no longer has a lifestyle. These are ex-employees, ex-girlfriends who still want the lifestyle. But for the government to pretty much come into this now and saying, look, the government is now going to be able to tell women what they can and cannot do with their bodies. The government made an official designation during this trial that there's no such thing as a girlfriend anymore. There's no such thing as a girlfriend anymore. All women are sex workers. The government is saying, the government didn't say Cassie's a sex worker because of this reason. And Daphne, she's a sex worker. Gina's a sex worker because they gave no reason. It was a blanket statement. All women are sex workers. And if you are paying her bills, if you're giving her money, and this is a woman that you desire to have sex with because she's good looking, then your intent when you're giving her money is the furtherance of prostitution. If you fly a woman to come see you because you guys met and you want to take her on a trip, you want to go on vacation, of course you're planning on having sex with her. That's going to be criminalized now. It actually is being criminalized because this is exactly what they're using against Diddy. I knew this was going to be a slippery slope when they used that logic against R. Kelly because he met a 26-year-old woman at a show and he liked her and he's like, look, I'll fly you to another city to come to my other show. And they charged him with that in the RICO trial against R. Kelly. And I was like, wait a minute. So if we're going to criminalize men who are flying out women who are asked to be flown out, and it's not like you're prosecuting everybody. It's like you can pick and choose who you're going to say is guilty of it, even though everyone's done it, but you're only going to prosecute certain people. I said, that's going to be weaponized against people in the future. Fast forward 6 years, you got Sean Diddy Combs on trial. And they're saying because he pays a woman's rent and he pays her bills and he gives her money, but he also likes to have freaky sex with her, that he's only paying her bills and giving her money, not because she's his girlfriend and he cares about her because she's a single mother, but because he wants to have sex with her and she's a sex worker. She's a prostitute. Who is the government to make these designations and say, and this is the crazy part, I don't hear enough women protesting against this and saying, but government, this is not true. I'm not a sex worker. I'm a woman. I have agency. I'm smart enough to decide what I want to do for with my body, for myself. I don't need the government telling me who I can and cannot have sex with under what terms. If a man takes you out to dinner and the proceeds that were spent were actually to have sex with you, well, then when is sex not prostitution between a man and a woman? When is it not? If he doesn't spend any money but he still has sex with you. So now, men work so that we can earn money, so that we can spend money to gain the favor of women. That's pretty much how it's been working the entirety of human civilization. We exchange resources for a woman's favor. We buy big houses and expensive neighborhoods and fancy cars, and we get all this stuff so that more women will notice us and attract us, because the average man is invisible to women. It's an uphill battle, and a lot of men struggle with it. At the end of the day, Diddy was still dealing with the same X amount of women for 10 years when he could have had way more. And to watch this be turned against him, it kind of reminds me of back when Governor Kathy Hochul of New York said that the black kids in the Bronx don't know how to use the internet. They don't know how to use a computer. They're basically like cave people. And I didn't hear any black people making a protest or making a big fuss and saying, no, we actually use the internet every day. We're actually smart. We're intelligent people. We use computers. We're proficient in all these. Nobody corrected her, because everybody wants to be a victim. Everybody wants to be seen as being weak and pathetic, but only when it's convenient. The rest of the time, everyone wants to say everybody's equal, everyone's strong, everyone can do everything everyone else does. But except when it's convenient, oh, I'm pathetic, I'm weak, I'm dumb, I can't decide, I don't know what I'm doing, somebody must have tricked me. Well, if you're so easily tricked, how can we trust you to vote? If you're so easily tricked, how can we trust you to drive? I mean, what if somebody tells you, hey, look over there and there's a red light and you drive through it? Like, I mean, if we're going to be that simple, then we can't trust people, but we can't have it both ways. We're either smart and strong, or we're weak and dumb. We cannot have it both ways. Can't. This trial right here is going to change our society, because now now the government is reaching into the bedrooms of Americans and telling you what kind of sex is allowed and what isn't allowed. And nobody knows what's illegal, because wait a minute, I can't even have a girlfriend now. So if a regular person just meets a woman, buys her a drink, takes her home, has sex with her, that's him trafficking her because he took her home. And that's him, since he paid for a drink for her, that's him paying her for sex with, that's prostitution. That's what you're telling me. Well, then who's not guilty of that? And are you going to just keep picking and choosing who you want to go after with that? I mean, that cannot be case law. It can't. And we have to put a stop to it while we can. Or we're done over here. I mean, a lot of men have already relocated. It's a very anti-man country and anti-man society in the United States. If it's going to be like that, then men don't have a place here. If you're out looking to have a family, you're looking for a wife, so you're dealing with women, but now they're going to criminalize you dealing with women, then what are you supposed to do? If you're going to be a smart man and think about it, because if your ex-girlfriend from college can come back 15 years later and say, the whole time I was with him, he was trafficking me and I didn't even want to do anything with them 15 years ago. I got no proof, no evidence. But I see that he has a younger girlfriend now, and I'm jealous, so I want to say that he did something to me. Because that's how it played out with Gina, Cassie, Daphne, when they seen him with Young Miami, who's about 10 years their junior. We cannot let this become case law. And these text messages are proving that this was a setup from the beginning, because she's going to end these texts saying, you'll see. Like, she's basically threatening to come get him. And she's already threatening him right now. Threat.
So remember I told you guys earlier in this thing that she also threatened to release videos based on a text message? This is what I'm talking about. He says, so you guys read it for yourself. So you want to F the trainer because I F'd her or whatever. And he said, release the videos also. So she's also threatening to extort him and release videos, because all these videos came from her devices. They didn't come from his devices. She goes, I didn't. Stop accusing me. And then she goes, release what videos then? And then she goes, you're a lunatic and I'm done. And then she says, And no, I didn't pay for the BITCH for her services, but I have had her blacklisted as a fake ass model. So Puff did F another girl that she knew, and then Cassie got her blacklisted.
And Cassie only has a little bit of pull and power where she thinks she can blackmail people, where she can blacklist people because of her relationship with Diddy. Now, I'll be honest with you, once this case is over, whether Diddy's convicted or not, all of these people are burnt. But all of these people have literally been making a living riding Diddy's coattail for the past shit. Gene Deal's been literally surviving off of talking about Diddy for 20 something years now. Literally his biggest fan. Without Puffy, this man is a nobody who is just an older, washed up security guard that's has health issues, that's not going to be around much longer. All of these people needed Diddy to survive, and when Diddy started to pull away from them, they all magically had something to say about him all of a sudden. We can't allow this.
And then Cassie goes, like beyond, and says, now you have it at a point. Everyone is going to know exactly who you are. Oops. Everyone is going to know exactly who you are and what you've done if they don't already. Then he goes, let him know that as a man, he now needs to deal with that. I'll let him know myself. You have this ish real messy. I refuse to let a white boy that I paid to train you F you. He obviously said the real word, F-U-C-K-U. I refuse to let a white boy that I paid to train you F you.
Alex Fine owes Diddy every dollar back from that 68, 70 grand he gave him. He owes him every penny. I didn't pay you to start sleeping with my girlfriend. I paid you to train her. So, but Cassie, it takes two to tango. Cassie never said Alex Fine raped her. He didn't force her. It takes two to tango. She's a serial cheater. She's she can't do it. She's a nympho. It's not just the amount of sex, but it's also new sex partners. She needs more men. I'll be honest, it seems like Diddy wasn't doing this until her. So it seems like she kind of turned Diddy out. So that's why all the girls after Cassie kind of look like Cassie, because Cassie was the first one that looked like her after Kim. But after Cassie, the rest of them looked like Cassie. And he thought that the same thing Cassie was into, they were into, and Diddy was right. Daphne, these other girls, they were already doing their things. That's where their core value is. It's in their beauty, it's in their sex, it's in their promiscuity. It's not in their brains, it's not in their creativity, it's not in their talent. It's in their ability to look good and please people when they're in the bed. And they capitalize on that. But that's only going to get you so far. Diddy's not going to marry you, and you're not going to have any legal access to his funds until you do something like this. And you have to take him to court. And if you're going to go all the way. And you're going to have to come up with lies out of this world. And you know that it's just going to, you're wondering, well, how much investigating into this are they going to do? Is it going to just be a blanket believe all women, or are they going to actually read through these messages? And I'm pretty sure these women underestimated how deep the investigation was going to go, because a lot of these text messages were already likely deleted off their devices, or they have new devices. These are text messages from over 10 years ago in some cases. So again, this cannot be allowed. She's already threatening to extort him, threatening to make him pay and punish him because he found out she was cheating on him. And this manipulative, evil woman has now successfully twisted it back onto Diddy as if he's the bad guy because he caught her cheating. And he keeps trying to bring it back like, wait a minute, so you want to hurt me because I caught you with the guy that I'm training? This isn't the first time she cheated. It won't be the last.
You let everyone know that I effed with Gina. And everyone will know that you effed with him. Because remember, she was like, oh, he's effing Gina. That's why she blocked him when she was in South Africa, blah, blah. Then she says, I'm telling you that you're wrong. He goes, Why did you have to do that knowing I was paying for it? Damn, why? She goes, but I'll make sure that your lawyer, remember I talked about this messages before too. I'll make sure that your lawyer receives pics of my face and body from every time you beat me up. So this is 2018, by the way. So she was planning that 2023 lawsuit from time. So it was always her plan. This was her plan B. Plan A was to make it as a no talent singer. Plan B was to extort Puff.
You know, that's so deep. That's so real. Plan B was to extort Puffy. And that's absolutely correct. Do me a favor, like and subscribe, share the video. This is Conversations with Jay. I'm gonna put a link to this video in the comments. Follow him. They do a good analysis of this trial as well. I appreciate it. Right Wing Rico, the Single Boyfriend, Club Rico podcast. Follow if you can, if you enjoy the content. And please visit our sponsor, cosigning.com. Thank you very much, and I'll be back shortly with another video. Cheers.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.